electricity.
So, appointment viewing at 9:30 tonight, African Perspective. We're joined by the anchor, Tsepiso Makwetla. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Francis.
In your usual territory here. And energy, I mean, we're always complaining about our own power woes, but this is a broader regional issue. You're looking at Kenya and Zimbabwe.
So let's start with Kenya. So the complaint is that the tariffs are still high for consumers in Kenya. This is what those at the lower strata of the economy are saying. And the same problem that we have here, the complaints that the high industrial users are still paying far less than the ordinary consumers. And the experts are saying this is despite the fact that there's been a huge amount of investments in power generation plants. But they're also saying that the lack of an efficient transmission system is also due to lack of proper planning, corruption. As you know, that there has been a very high level cabinet official that's been removed from the finance portfolio as a result of some of these. And then in Zimbabwe, so this you're going to find very interesting. First of all, you know that Zimbabwe has had its financial woes, and with Eskom pulling out of supplying power to them, but that situation has not turned around. They've struck a deal, Eskom saying that they've struck a deal of 213 million rand for Zimbabwe to receive about 400 megawatts of power. And then there's the other interesting thing, story that I'm sure will get a lot of South Africans talking. Machela Koko of Machela Energy, they've been awarded license to build a solar plant in Zimbabwe, and he said,
fascinating,
isn't it?
This
and
is the former CEO of
Eskom, and he says, I managed to avert load shedding in South Africa. I certainly am going to do the same in Zimbabwe. So that should be interesting to see. So this, as they started implementing load shedding in May this year, so he's hoping to go in there and put in some sort of measures. And this also comes with the private sector there in the energy sector, say that they are willing to pay cost-reflective power tariffs.
I remember the story because Eskom had stopped supplying because Zimbabwe owed us a huge amount. They then made a payment.
Serial offenders in this regard.
Yeah, and they made a payment and said, look, please, could government intervene? So now you're saying we're opening up that power supply again, but this is when South Africa is also facing huge issues. Do you think there could be a backlash? I don't know.
Well, I mean, as you say, these are regional issues, and Zimbabwe and South Africa being such close neighbors, closely tied in terms of trade and many other issues. There's no way that Zimbabwe can South Africa can sit back and allow Zimbabwe to be plunged into further financial distress. Because, as you know, this impacts on production, on growth, jobs, etc.
All right, thank you very much. And join her tonight, 9:30, African Perspective with Tsepiso Makwetla. Back